Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. Today we're going to be looking at a game called Airgun Fighter, which, as you can probably guess, is an air simulation combat game. It's currently on Steam at the minute. It was released today and it's on 25% off, so it's only about £3.74 or your regional equivalent. Now, normally I would show you the options, but your options are literally to change this here from aircraft or classical. Trust me, you want aircraft pitch control. You want it inverted. It doesn't work very well on classical. It gets very confusing. I had a lot more luck once I changed this simple setting. You've also got TopGuns here, which is just the people that are playing the game. Not that many. Not that many, unfortunately. It does have controller support, but outside of that, there's not really a lot you can do. Mission-wise, you get to choose at one of 3 planes. I don't know if they're planning on adding any more. The planes and the details of the planes and the graphics and stuff, they're not hugely different. They're not hugely detailed. It's not a very accurate game from what I can tell. But we'll go with the F-22. And then these are your missions. You do one, you move on to the next. You can choose any mission in any order that you want to. We'll start in Chile. And then these are your controllers. So it does work with the controller, which is nice. And it does seem to slip between the two quite easily. Outside of that, though, you can't change them. You can't change the keybinds at all. They are what they are. Like you've got normally, you've got inverted. That's it. I'm not a huge fan of the controller setup anyway. I would much rather it that I pitch with one thumbstick and like increase or decrease my altitude with the other, using right trigger or A button to speed up or slow down, as opposed to throttle is your right stick and you just turn with your left. It makes steering in the game very, very difficult, but you're about to see that. As a fighter, it's not bad for the price. Like, you get what you pay for. There are definitely better fighters out there. And as for it being a simulation game, it's only barely a simulation game in my opinion. Like, they could do a lot more to make it a lot better. But you'll see that when we get into the game. So, here you go. You've got a rather nice, large map in the background. You start with 2 allies. And you've got to wait until you are able to get the flashing thing, the flashing box, to be a red box to say that you are lined up. Your allies will do some work, which is nice. The sound assets in this game are to be desired. They're not good. The good thing is, the game itself is very small, and there is next to no load times. Like, everything is pretty quick and instant. The sensitivity is quite bad, in my honest opinion. It's a little too sensitive, and you don't feel like you're actually turning. You're just on this axis, I should say, and it just seems a bit lackluster in every regards. The screen shake is also on by default, and there's nothing you can do about it. And this is where the big problem comes in, because the second that an enemy has gone behind you, you ain't never finding him again. Like, it takes forever to try and get where you can see him, and then you're just constantly spinning. And I can see a lot of people getting very, 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 very airsick from playing this game. When I say the sound assets aren't great, here's the gun. Here's your machine gun. It sounds fucking awful. It really does. This is something that I would expect to come out in like 95, early 2000s. It's not ideal for 2020. This doesn't feel like a 2020 game in any way, shape or form. But for 374, it's not bad. It's not too bad at all. But it's very simple. Very, very simple in its design. Like, it just, you change angles and stuff, which is fine. But on this screen, there's nothing. Like, you've literally got nothing to tell you anything. And there's this weird screen shake that's going on that just, again, would make me nauseous. Your areas of fighting aren't very big either. And if you go towards the end, then you die, you lose the mission, and you start it again. It feels like they could have done a better job, even for the price that it's on Steam for. I've certainly played better games and much better. Yep, much better air fighters when I was younger. But if you want something that you can just kind of jump in, not really focus too much on, and try and clear each mission, go for it. Like, it's cheap enough for you to do that. The loading screens, like I say, are next to non-existent. Doesn't matter what map you start on either, like, you always start the same. So I can see it getting very tedious. If you've already done, like, this one for the 1000th time, you don't want to do it all again just to get to the same point you were at. Like, there's no checkpoint system or anything. It's done in, like, an arcadey way, where you earn points and try and get on a leaderboard. But with the lack of maps, and even then when you go on different maps, like, it doesn't really scream that it's different. It all looks pretty much the same. So there's not a huge variety in that, and the fact that you do only have a limited amount of missions, and you only have 3 planes, and you only have the same sort of setup gear. There's no, like, real definition of what each missile, what each type of missile is, and it just lackluster is what I'd say. It just feels very, very lackluster. And it's a shame, because I was quite excited about playing this. I figured that this could be a lot of fun. But there you have it, guys. Airgun Fighter. It is currently on Steam for £3.74 with 25% off. If you want something that's cheap, that's going to keep you entertained for a couple of hours, something to give you little ones to get into gaming for the first time, maybe, could be possible. If you're looking for anything that's highly detailed, this isn't it. If you're looking for high graphical fidelity and amazing airline models, this isn't it. If you want to be able to look around and see what your plane looks like from all 360-degree angle, this ain't it. You've got 3 camera views. That's your lot. If you want a game with no options, this is it. If you want a game with no loading times, this is it. But that really is, like, all I can say on the game. There's not a lot else to get into. There's not a lot else to sink my teeth into. So thank you very much for watching, guys. And I will see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.